Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. Ha ha ha. I hope everybody's doing well tonight, and I hope I'm coming through clear tonight. Might hear some crickets. I don't know. But we got a lot to talk about. Mr. T had a big day today, and Judge Merchan backed off of the sentencing. Now, I have in my title on my thumbnail picture, these perfidious cowards. Well, now, what do I mean by that? Is that what Merchan is thinking? That the prosecutors and the attorneys involved are perfidious cowards because they dropped it in his lap. They said, well, we don't care if you sentence him now, or it's up to you, Judge. Or is he the perfidious coward? I don't know. Leave it up to the people who read the thumbnail to make up their own mind. So anyway, we'll be talking about that stuff, talking about Operation Web. And Dossier 2.0. What is that? What is that? That's another one of these judicial operations that are going on to undermine Mr. T. Well, I hope everybody's doing good, and I hope my voice is coming through clear. And as soon as we get some people in the chats, I guess I will find out. Now, I'm going to come back to this issue here about Mr. T, where they said he was babbling and not making sense. It's because he was asked a rather, in my mind, childish question. I'll tell you why it's childish. He sits there and goes through this big, long economic form, how he's going to improve the economy for America, how he's going to get rid of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in waste, okay, and how he's going to impose tariffs and lower taxes or even eliminate taxes. And the first questions he gets asked is, what are you going to do about child care costs? Of course it's going to throw him off his game. What a stupid question, okay? But anyway, here's my thumbnail of Merchan. I'm going to keep him up as I go along, but right now I'm going to show you. Here's an example. They're making fun of it, but the Babylon Bee. Ukraine unveils new missile fueled by burning U.S. dollars. Well, you can bet that's going to be put a stop to when Trump gets in. And here's a little video. Who do you think pays for all this crime? Never mind everything I just mentioned. Okay, about the billions in government, hundreds of billions of government misspending, fraud, abuse, okay, and the extra money in tariffs. But who do you think pays for what this guy's doing right here?
Leaving California.
Walked right by a cop car. Did you catch that? Now, who do you think's paying for all that? So when you go through an hour and a half of unscripted discussion about what's wrong with this country, the first question you get is, what are you going to do about child care? And of course, it is a perfect pitch for somebody like Kamala, because she'll say, oh, I will give a child tax credit to everybody, and not even address the stuff that I just talked about that Trump discussed. But anyway, let me see you all's in here. Let me get this one out of the way so I can see the chats a little bit better. How you doing, B? Charming. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Sherry, Wanda, Sissy, Gloria, Tracy, David. Let's see. Harrisburg Pet Plain Duck and Cover. Huh? Roland, how you doing? Lucy, nice to see you. I got a 5x5. That's good. Flannel cheese. Diane, nice to see you. Yeah, it's a postponed. That's why I put the perfidious cowards. Sandy, you're here. Ha ha. Wanda's here. Taxpayers. That's right. The taxpayers pay for all the consumers pay for that kind of vandalism and damage that's going on. Hi, Andrew. Nice to see you. So, anyway, Lottie, nice to see you too. Lone Wolf, I want to thank you, Lone Wolf, for stopping by and buy me a coffee. I appreciate it. I didn't get any notifications the other night, and I want to thank everybody when I see them. Mike and Bev kicked in, Gary kicked in, Miss Bender Sue, Tennessee, Sandy, Angela, and Pappy Two Bears. That was through the week. There you are, Tennessee. Ha ha. Thanks for going to buy me a coffee. Hi, Alan. How you doing? So, anyway, let me put my creepy judge back up. I should have put these letters in red or darker colored. I could see the chats easier. But because I'm going to want to leave him up there to look at some of these pictures I'm putting up. You see how aggravated he looks? And if you watch Robert Gavoya, he was making every excuse under the sun and trying to get as many shots in on the Trump team and Trump as he could. But the bottom line is, he ain't going to sentence nobody. Okay? CJ, how you doing? So, anyway, let's go through some stories. This was a scene outside of the courtroom when Trump was there. And there was a mix of people asking, who made these signs? Who's paying these protesters? Who made these signs up? And they're all coming up with a chant, nobody's above the law, the usual crap. And yeah, I wanted to know the same thing, but it's just I could smell the kitty litter, the used kitty litter from here, and like a guy in the middle, a low T soy boy, broke back cowboy. But anyway, here you go. Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, well more than doubled what former President Trump raised, $361 million. That's how much Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign says it raised last month. Former President Trump's team announced he brought in $130 million over the same period. Man, that's unheard of. I mean, they're trying to buy this election. I don't care how much money they throw at Kamala. We'll go over some of the numbers as far as what's happening. Stanton, how you doing? I'll see if I get anybody new in here. If we get anybody new in here, anybody wants to throw down with ideas, I'm ready to throw down. But anyway, here's one somebody put up I found interesting about Barron Trump. And I believe it, My dad had an IQ over 160. I don't know if he got to 170, but I knew he was over. But anyway, did you know Barron Trump is the smartest Trump child? He has an IQ of plus 170. So, boy, you can really see his mother's features, can't you? And also Mr. T, but he's going to school in New York. And how you doing, Vicky? He's going to school in New York. Let's hope everything goes all right for him. He'll be a heartthrob. He already is, I'm sure. But Trump, I'm going to see how this video plays. Now, I called it Operation Web. Operation Web. because during his press conference today, he said it was a very intricate web. And he felt, I mean, I could have recorded that whole press conference and every bit of it would have been interesting. And he said, I'm doing a great service by going through this because it's showing the players. It's showing the players. And I got the tail end of it, his summary, partial summary. But we'll go over most of the points that he had in his whole press conference, because there's a lot of important things. And people go, oh, he's rambling. He's, not making sense. Well, if you haven't got many brain cells in your head, he's not making sense. If you got brain cells in your head and you're paying attention to what's going on, this is unprecedented. Any other citizen Mr. Smith goes to Washington or anybody like that would have been crushed years ago. If he didn't have the backing of the U.S. military, he wouldn't have survived as long as he had. No single person without assistance could survive the savagery of what he's going through, the exaggerated claims and everything else. The E. Jean Carroll thing, I was shocked when I was listening to audio of the arguments presented to the appellate court. An attorney for E. Jean Carroll was saying, and quoting Judge Kaplan, which we're going to find a lot more out about him. Trump brought up the fact that he was angry. He threatened to put an attorney in jail. Never seen a judge behave that way. A close second would be Mercan and Engoron, all right, and Goron. So we're getting names of people that are part of this web. But the attorney for E. Jean Carroll said that Trump's statement of the Bush tape, where he said he grabs women, this is what they say he said. I've been over it before. He says women let you. When you have a lot of money, you can do what you want. They let you do these things. Judge Kaplan put it to the jury that was Trump's admission that he runs around grabbing women, when that is not at all what he said. You even have a judge causing these out of context, slanderous misrepresentations. You even have a judge repeating it, and this attorney repeating it to appellate court judges, which, by the way, they're mostly all Democrat appointees. So anyway, here's a little summary of what Trump had to say, and we'll talk some more about it after it plays.
Because her best friend is the head of ABC or ABC News, and Donna Brazile is there. You remember that? That was a little embarrassing. She got fired, I assume, for that. But now she's working at ABC. So I said, I'll do it anyway, because even if she knows the answers and knows the questions, I don't think she'll be very good. And this is not what our country wants. And I feel I have an obligation to do it. And she'd never stand up here like this and give a news conference and speak about what's happening with the weaponization of our justice system. This is the weaponization of justice at a level that nobody's ever seen in this country before. We've never seen it. You see it in third world countries. You see it in banana. Very sad thing. And I think I'm doing a great service by having gone through it and revealing it, because, it came out with a indictment from the district attorney, which, again, just revealed today, and I hope you're going to do a story because it's a big story. The Southern District of New York was, and And this is a very highly respected group of people. He said it was a disgrace that that case was brought. It was a disgrace that the case was brought in front of Mershon. The case is a disgrace. Should have never been brought. Should have never been brought. And the case in front of Judge Engoron, just in terms of the case itself, we had 4 or 5 overturns in the appellate division. I only hope the appellate division, for the good of New York, otherwise you just say, God save the state. Of New York, I hope that the appellate division will do what's right on that case, because that case was a scam. But every single one of these cases that I'm mentioning, they're all hoaxes and scams. No different than Russia, 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 Ukraine, 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 the impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, all these things that we won. We won them all. But it takes time, it takes effort. And they're at it again. But this time, what they're doing is it's very interesting. It just brings to light the lawyer on the hoax that we're talking about now, having to do with E. Jean Carroll. She said, the way to defeat Trump is go after him civilly as often as possible, make his life miserable, sue him all the time, keep him in court, and let him spend a fortune. That's the lawyer I have in the E. Jean Carroll case. And that's exactly what they've done. The only thing I can say that's good about it is the public understands. And my poll numbers, I believe, are higher now than they would have been without it, because the public, it's a political witch hunt, and some of you should be ashamed of yourselves. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what he said. Some of you should be ashamed of yourselves. And he started off by dropping names. He was talking about Kamala Harris, who is friends with the ABC News Network and the news part of ABC. He brought up Donna Brazile, and he's earlier in the press conference, he was discussing this intricate weave, a web that they've got. Let's see who. My chats are frozen. I saw Gary in there. How you doing, Gary? And I saw him, and let me see. My chats are frozen. Let me see if I can unfreeze them. There we go. It's moving now. So, somebody said I was buffering. So hopefully I'm not buffering. Hi, Benjamin. I saw Gary, Ian, Benjamin. Let's see. All right, it's moving along now. My chats are moving along now. Oh, good. They froze up on me for a bit. So maybe I'm not. Hi, Bill. Bill said I'm buffering. So hopefully that will stop. Gino, how you doing? So anyway, earlier in the conversation, he was drawing out the web, how the web is laid out. And he brought up the names of George Conway, okay, a perfidious coward. I call him a hobbit. And Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn. Now, remember Reid Hoffman? That was the one that Elon Musk said that would end up, was afraid that Trump would put him in Gitmo. So his name been brought up before. He's a billionaire that's been trying to undermine Mr. T. He also brought up Lisa Monaco, the second in charge of the Department of Justice. He did not mention Merrick Garland's name. And he brought up this Coangelo character who was imported from the White House to New York. And that's around the time he said, I am performing a service, going through what I'm going through to expose this stuff that they're up to, what they're doing. And I found this video. It popped up on my feed. I guess the rhythm heard me talking about it. How you doing, Wayne? And this is the old story I mentioned that I found interesting, has not been pushed out there very much. Even though this has gotten 1 million views on MSNBC, it's over a month old. And it made my antennas go up was 10 million. That figure is what they're using as they're trying to get people for supposedly spreading Russian disinformation. Okay, you've got what is going to come of that? Okay, anybody that says something that Russia agrees with is a propagandist. Is that what they're going to do? Because right here you have AF Post put up. YouTube terminates Lauren Chen and Tenet Media's channels. That Tenet Media is the one that Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and that other guy and another person got mentioned in the indictment. But I think it was to scare them. Both their channels are still up. As of just before me going live, I checked, and they're still posting. So, how you doing, Yvonne? So they're trying to chill people from talking about anything that can be perceived as pro-Russian. Now, never mind that part of Russia's gripe is the S3 actualization of children, okay? The central bank and the U.S. dollar being candy wrappers. On and on you can go. They're more anti-communist than Kamala is. Kamala's hanging her hat on a communist peg, along with Tampon Tim, Brokeback Tim, whatever you want to call him. And I tell you, that video of him dancing around, I think that was real. Now, somebody brought this up in the comments the other night about Alan Dershowitz, and it is true. Alan Dershowitz, I heard him say it himself. He said he made his final decision after watching the disgraceful convention, DNC convention. Alan Dershowitz announces his departure from the Democrat Party. So, he was talking about the anti-Semitic remarks that were being made, the guests, particularly AOC, and even mentioned Bernie Sanders as being a anti-Semitic individuals. Now, speaking of Elon Musk, communism, interfering with our free speech, here's one Elon put up the other day about Kamala. He put an AI picture up, and he said, Kamala vows to be a communist dictator on day one. Can you believe she wears that outfit? So he is poking the bear, so to speak, as far as the censors and the deep state, especially in light of the Telegram person who was arrested in France. Now, my understanding about this guy that got arrested, they broke his bond up. He can only pay it $1 million a month. In other words, it's a $5 million bond, but he can only pay $1 million this month, and then he's got to pay another $1 million. Then he's got to, so he won't be able to do anything or go anywhere consequence till next year sometime, 5 months from now. So this is a little hard to read because I clipped the bottom off. But Telegram quietly updates its terms of service. It shows a before and an after. And what is highlighted up top is missing from the after part. Bear with me. I'll read it. All Telegram chats and group chats are private amongst their participants. We do not process any requests related to them. Oh, that's been removed. That's been removed. So in other words, they're given access, okay? Telegram is not as secure as it was. So this guy's under a lot of pressure, no doubt. Let me see. I'm just going through the chats here. Oh my gosh. Kicked off of Brokeback Mountain. Elva, how you doing? No, I can't do anything with the red line, Elva. That's all you tizzle. That's nothing, not in my control. Yeah, Tim Pool's suing. A lot of them are suing. But I think those charges are meant to be a boomerang. Meant to be a boomerang. And the psychology behind this business of Mercan allowing the election to go by before sentencing, the characters like Conway, okay, Coangelo, Weissman, all these people, Monaco, if they did sentence Trump and it gives him another boost in the polls, they would have egg on their face. That is one reason why they don't want to take the chance, because they can't predict. Every time they persecuted Trump, he's gotten stronger. The other point of it is, though, that Mercan was hung out to dry by Alvin Bragg et al. Because they told him, we'll leave it up to you. We don't have a preference. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. We don't have a preference, and left it totally up to Mercan, and he chickened out. Or, like I said, they instructed him because they want to take a chance on making Trump stronger. So there's a lot of funny little games going on. A lot of funny little games. Speaking of games, here's Robert F. Kennedy. North Carolina court makes ruling on RFK Jr.'s name appearing on the ballot. They're going to take it off the ballot, along with Michigan. Let me see if I've got that report in here. Michigan and another state. I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But Wisconsin is looking awful stupid. And the judge that made that ruling is looking awful stupid, because these other judges are saying, yeah, he wants his name off. Don't put it on there. You can't make somebody appear on a ballot. Here it is. Michigan Appeals Court has ordered that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name be taken off the ballot in the state. So you got Michigan, North Carolina, and a couple of others. From what I understand, Wisconsin is the oddballs in the situation. So, what the battle was about today, one of the many battles going on, is where they're trying to get this $89 million out of Trump to give it to E. Jean Carroll. And it was a good press conference. If you get a chance to watch it, I heard that it was being played kind of on a loop during Anderson Cooper Live. Now, Anderson Cooper was mentioned specifically by Trump during this press conference. He was talking about how crazy this Eugene Carroll was and how they wanted to see the outtakes when she was talking a bunch of smack on Anderson Cooper's show, and he cut to a commercial all of a sudden. So I don't know, because Anybody watching that news conference would be sympathetic to Trump and understand the arguments that the attorneys were putting forward. So, what is going on with this guy here? Let me see. There's something up with this. Newsom. Black Californians warn Newsom of direct impact on Harris after Dems kill the slavery reparations bill. He is turning. Newsom is turning. He gave an interview and somebody asked him why California cities were having such a terrible time. And he said it's because of our policies. Not only that, they got rid of the reparations bill, but he also, he vetoed a bill about migrant housing. Is this it? Yeah. Breaking news. Newsom vetoes bill to help undocumented migrants buy homes in California. Are you kidding me? Newsom? ABC News, another one that Trump mentioned during this press conference, untangling this web. Governor Newsom, breaking news, has vetoed a bill that would have made some undocumented migrants eligible for up to $150,000 in state-supported home loans. Now, do you think he's had a come to Jesus meeting? Or does he realize if he'd have signed that bill, Kamala would have plummeted even farther? So it is causing a little problem for them to keep going with their scummy ways. But go to Chicago. Look here. This is Harris's future America. Venezuelan migrants move into new home in Chicago. Our new neighbors, see? Therefore I am, said new. These illegal migrant family from Venezuela buys first home after arriving in Chicago 2 years ago. Thanks to taxpayer-funded first-time homebuyers program and support from a local church, these illegal immigrants were rewarded with a newly renovated home. It's unfortunate that some American citizens who have paid taxes their entire lives may never experience the American dream. And there you are. America been very good to me. So yeah, just because Newsom vetoed that doesn't mean it's not still going on. So I got another story about Chicago, but let's put a little reminder up here. Congratulations, Democrats. You just gave Ukraine $47 billion to secure its border. When Trump wanted $4 billion to secure the U.S. border, you said we didn't have the money. Crooks and liars. There we go. Here's another one from Babylon Bee. Stop foreigners from meddling in our elections, says party inviting foreigners to meddle in the elections. Get that and put it out on Facebook. Oh, here's another reason Mercan may have been thinking twice about the sentencing. New York judge sued for financial disclosures. Now, I want to see not just some private group suing him. I want to see Congress subpoena his documents, because we all know what happens when you don't obey a congressional subpoena. You end up in jail, right? So he's not very happy about that, and he's going to have to turn over those records. That may be another reason why he did what he did. But he was under a lot of pressure. Now, I want to take a look at a couple of things. Rasmussen, they put out there, dead heat, 2024 is down to a tie. Now, I usually trust Rasmussen reports, and I don't think this is accurate. I think Trump is up quite a bit, and Trump does too. He said if we had fair elections, he wouldn't be trying for a big blowout. He could relax because it's all over but the shouting and the cheating. So I watched the video, and Trump has a distinct advantage in the Electoral College. I'll put up an electoral map in a minute. But I'm thinking this is also part of an operation. I'm thinking that part of this operation is to get people very, very, very interested in the upcoming debate. I think the debate is going to be much like the Biden debate, Operation Humiliation. Expose these people and make them stand in front of the world to show how vapid, ignorant, and downright evil these people are. That's why I think they're putting out these polls saying things are close, to get the ratings up on the debate. Everybody and their brother, if they think this is a tight race, are going to want to see what happens during that debate. Pappy Two Bears, how you doing? I gave everybody a shout out at the beginning of the broadcast for going to buy me a coffee. And Pappy, you were on there. Gary was on there. And Mike and Bev and Lone Wolf, Miss Minder Sue, Tennessee, Sandy, Nagan, Angela. And that's through last week. I really appreciate everything. So anyway, I'm looking at the chats. Yeah, well, we've got why I'm talking about the polls, Gary, is because I believe that they're going to everybody gets more ratings, more money if it seems like it's a tight race. More people tune into news agencies, more people pay for polls, more people stay involved and interact. But I think this particular thing is to get the viewership up for this debate that is coming up. And I think that they are being forced to humiliate themselves. Here we go. Ratings crash. CNN's ratings dropped 96%. There's a scandal that they paid for ratings. Now, I don't know why this creator put Chris Cuomo's face on this. He's been gone from CNN. But they're resurrecting Brian Stelter. So obviously they're scrambling. They got... I guess the ratings are not just bad at CNN, but MSNBC also. And I'm very interested in if there's a scandal about them paying for what? Bribing somebody at Nielsen ratings? Wouldn't that be something? Since they're going after everybody who is, they think, twisting up the news. So I went ahead and got a copy of this to show, just to show that Benny Johnson, one of the people mentioned in the indictment, is still posting. He put up a copy of the order breaking Trump sentencing postponed till after the election. And I got something else from Benny Johnson. I'll put it up just to show he's still functioning. But here we have the Hill. Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are locked in statistical dead heat ahead of a pivotal debate. Ah, really? The stakes are incredibly high for the first debate next week between Trump and Harris. The stakes are high. The ratings will go up, as is the presidential race is as close as it has been this century. Oh, it's going to be the debate of the century, according to the latest forecast model from the Decision Desk headquarters and the Hill. The model shows Harris has a 55% probability of winning. What? But suggests the contest is essentially a jump ball affair with 7 states in serious contention for both campaigns. So, like I said, I believe this is going to be to put them out there with no question that she's incompetent, just like they dispatched with Crooked Joe, Sleepy Joe, whatever you want to pick. Let me see what's going on in the chats. Hi, Jetlag. How you doing? Ha ha ha. Brian Stelter is analyzed. Yeah. Well, here's one for you. We're flushing them out, and I got an old friend that thought Dick Cheney was Darth Vader. Remember they used to say that about Dick Cheney all the time. Here he is. Former Vice President Dick Cheney to vote for Kamala Harris in 2024 election. Well, gee, my old buddy, I wish I could talk to him. I'd say, you and Kamala like Dick Cheney. Isn't that something? What does that tell you? Dick Cheney likes Kamala. You like Kamala. Just in, former Vice President Dick Cheney will be crossing party lines this election, voting for Vice President Kamala Harris. His daughter, Liz, said. Earlier in the week, Liz said she was planning to vote for Harris. Oh, now tell me that's not rhinos. Both Cheneys have been open about their criticism of former President Donald Trump following the J-6 riots. Yeah, right. Well, Cheney put out an even more detailed comment on Trump that I think is horrible. Statement from Vice President Dick Cheney. Keep in mind that we will never forget it, that Trump almost lost his life. Okay? With that in mind, Cheney's putting out this kind of garbage. In our nation's 248-year history, there has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. He tried to steal the election using lies and violence to keep himself in power after the voters had rejected him. He can never be trusted with power again. As citizens, we each have a duty to put our country above partisanship, to defend our Constitution. That is why I'll be casting my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Defend the Constitution, you would vote for a communist. You would vote for property confiscation, which is all this business of taxing unrealized gains. That's a BS way of saying confiscation of property and redistributing under a communist system. So anyway, they're discredited and exposed for good. Breaking news. The National Fraternal Order of Police. This was today. 377,000 members just endorsed Donald Trump for President of the United States. And there's the endorsement letter. Okay. Friends and relatives, you can multiply that 377,000 out by quite a bit. Let me see. I'm just looking through the chats. Yeah, we're getting all these rhinos exposed. Trump is putting out the web that's been weaved, and he's naming names. And I think building a case. Is that your all sense? Now, Chicago alderman, wake up the hell up, Chicago. Byron Sigo Lopez is generous with other people's money. He proposed a special tax for millionaires that the city will use to house illegals. Lopez also said the Colombian president is going to visit Chicago to thank them for taking care of migrants from his country. So, yeah, he's pushing through something with a special tax for evil millionaires. Watch how many people move out of Chicago that's got money in their pocket. And it's going to increase the misery, index is going to shoot way up. Hi, Dixie, how you doing? Hi, Mike. So, anyway, let's see, the debate is Tuesday, right, folks? Can you all, somebody mentioned Wednesday, and I didn't say anything, but I thought it was Tuesday. You know, I'm going to put this picture up. I put it up the other night, and I didn't comment on it, but here's Hunter. He genuinely looks bad. I don't think it's an act. I think he's got a lot of stress. But don't you all agree he looks very stressed out and kind of sickly? Remember, Trump said he was asked about Hunter Biden. He said it was a tragic story. They say he's looking at up to 17 years, but more than likely 1 to 3 years. So somebody's going to make a move. Either Joe's, there's who knows what they've got schemed out. But Kamala is, in my mind, going to be taking the oath of office and exercising powers of the presidency in a way that will make your mouth drop open. A communist having the presidency of the United States, they got one shot to destroy a system and try to keep Trump out and make sure that this type of revolution can never happen again. That's what they're going to try to do. In other words, they're desperate. Well, he may be going through rehab, and that's hard, He's not going to be able to do any cocaine or anything like that in his situation right now. He's being watched very closely by U.S. Marshals and Secret Service. For what that's worth. Well, I shouldn't be too hard on Secret Service. But I am, after what happened. So anyway, where is that one? let's here. Here's an article about Joe. Weaker than expected, U.S. added 142,000 jobs in August. Earlier months revised down. Manufacturing jobs crash. That ain't good news for Joe and Kamala. But also what Trump mentioned today at the press conference was the figures they put out faking 850,000 jobs. He said that's when you're getting to fraud. He said that's not a mistake. That's not just puffing up the numbers. He said that's when you're getting into fraud. So I guess they're being forced to put out more realistic numbers. And Joe is getting heat. Here you go. Unions hit Biden over federal worker raise. What? Federal labor unions on Friday ripped President Joe Biden's administration for proposing a far lower average pay raise for federal workers than Democrats had pushed for previously, according to reports. I don't know. They're eating their own, I guess. And there's another report. Let's see, I have to get, I guess when I get to it, I'll pull it up about the jobs. And in other words, there isn't going to be any good news coming out economy-wise that's going to help Commie Allah and Creepy Joe. The numbers are going to keep going down. Here's the what some people were referencing, a big lead, the big picture, who's favored to win the presidency. And this is Nate Silver's Electoral College probability, what the odds are. 39.7 for Harris and 60 for Trump. That's a huge difference. Popular vote probability, all of them have Obama phones. And when pollsters call, you can guarantee no speaking English is going to be answering the phone. So that's throwing the popular vote polls off. People that shouldn't even be here. But I've got in my thumbnail presidential parole. I found an interesting interview with Eric Adams. People were saying that earlier in the chats that Eric Adams was in trouble, and yes, he is. But he was given an interview, and he was discussing migrants in New York City. He said the ones that are in New York City that they're giving services to have received a presidential parole. I haven't heard that term, but I am familiar with it. When I was reading about the Civil War, General Grant paroled Robert E. Lee. He paroled all of the soldiers that surrendered at Appomattox. And paroles were being handed out throughout the Civil War. And what it is basically, you get captured, they can take you to a prison camp, or they can give you a parole. And the parole is, we're going to let you go home. You're off the battlefield. Don't come back. If you do, you're in big trouble. But no harm, no foul. We're not going to treat you like a traitor. We're not going to do anything. Go home and behave yourself. You're on parole. Well, Eric Adams is the first official I've heard bring up that term. And that is part of presidential powers, to parole people. I think we're going to be hearing that term more often. amnesty, paroles, and pardons. That is going to be coming up. It's already coming. It's already in effect. But the media is not talking about it. Here's something you all can put in your Facebook, a little something I found interesting. This kid put up 1.6. Only 1.6 of U.S. citizens owned slaves in 1860, when slavery was at its peak. So you can stop basing your hate for the entire white race for the actions of a mere 1.6%. And at the top, somebody put, and 99.99% of the 1.6% were Democrats. So that's a nice little meme to put up on Meta. And if they got a problem with it, they can contact Mark Lutchman. I don't know if you noticed or not, but he is a person of color. And this is another nice little meme you can put up on Meta. So I joked about it the other night. I was looking at it, so I went ahead and put the screenshot in my studio. Sources say Kamala was promoted at McDonald's after having an affair with Mayor McCheese. Yeah, that's right, Mike. Arlington National Cemetery is property of the Lee family. And I'm sorry I haven't mentioned it at all, but I would appreciate a thumbs up. Helps the video to get around. And I forget myself when I go on other people's streams and watch them. I have to go, oh my gosh, go out there and give a thumbs up. So if you would do me that favor, I would greatly appreciate it. And I did get some new subscribers. I want to thank my new subscribers and welcome them. More the merrier. Much appreciated. Now here's a little something that shows you that they're getting scared. Okay? Going after the likes of Tim Pool and Benny Johnson, blah, blah, blah. But here you have a video, taxpayer be damned. Nancy Pelosi praises California bill giving money to illegals to buy a home. Well, we just saw that her nephew, Newsom, vetoed it. But she didn't know that, apparently. She's out of the loop. But Memology 101 said the latest video where Pelosi praises a California bill that will provide funding for illegals to buy homes was hit with a claim, blocking it in all countries. What? Apparently, the Bill Maher show didn't make that specific segment available to the public outside of when it was originally aired. The video, however, is still available on my Rumble channel. If you want to watch that, Memology 101, I'm sure if I played that clip, I'd be in trouble right away. The algorithm, it's immediate. It catches you immediately. But I found this very interesting. I saw this a couple of days ago. And I thought, why would they go out of their way to block it in all countries? That's a pretty big move. 2 days later, Newsom vetoes the thing she was bragging about. That's telling you they know they're in trouble poll-wise. They know they're in big trouble. And can you imagine that debate camp? Let me tell you something. She is not going to be able to stay sober. She's going to be sneaking vodka. She's going to be, Trump mentioned today during the press conference that reports were coming out that she couldn't concentrate on the debate practice because there were so many people outside chanting for Trump. So she's having a miserable time at her debate camp. She's probably got people telling her, "Listen, you gotta cut back. You can't have any more drinks." And people chanting and raising hell, and bad news coming in right and left. But they keep throwing crap at Trump. They just don't stop. This is what came up in my feed today. Still beating their head against the wall with this business at the cemetery. Speaking of Arlington National, which was the property of the Robert E. Lee family, Trump deputy campaign manager identified in Arlington National Cemetery dust-up. NPR, okay? That's got to be done away with. Or at least federal funding, forget it. We got that poll that 90% of the employees are Democrats. NPR identified 2 Trump staffers involved in an altercation at Arlington National Cemetery. But here's a related article. So I got a different screenshot beside this one. What they link the articles with. Let me show you. Staffers in the scuffle. Trump staffers in the cemetery scuffle are named. And dad of alleged school SHOOTR. Why are they lumping those 2 stories together in the same article? Shadow memories. Remember what I mentioned that? It's a psychological method of association. Then the next article they put up first briefing, Trump Arlington altercation, Georgia father tried. NPR confirmed the name of 2 Trump staffers involved in Arlington Cemetery scuffle and the father of the Georgia shooting. They don't even bookend it on a different story. They mix the stories together. So they're getting into some really not so subtle psyops. Here we go. How do you like the looks of that guy? That is a new neighbor, okay? Baseball team family left in shock after migrants arrest for stabbing a girl. This is another stabbing, okay? I feel terrible for what happened at the high school. But I also feel terrible for all the other stuff going on every day. What is the body count in Chicago every weekend? What is the body count in other major cities every weekend? Here's a veteran. One of the few veterans from the greatest generation, okay? What happened? By family is Nelson Beckett, was unalived in a carjacking outside of an assisted living apartment complex in southwest Houston, Texas. Isn't that a horrible way to go? You don't hear about it on any of the major news. KHOU 11 puts one little blurb up, not even a video. You got to go to an article, and then you got to watch ads, and then maybe click on a paywall. Who knows? But all these people with this NPR operation trying to smear Trump about Arlington National and the school shooting, they don't give a flying damn about what's happening with people all around the country. I'm interested as to who the suspects are. Okay? Do they even belong here? Are they living in a renovated home? Russia warns, don't cross red lines as U.S.-Ukraine missile deal close. Moscow has warned U.S., this is from the Telegraph, not to cross the red line by giving Kiev missiles that would be among its longest range yet. Germany also announced they would be giving an additional 70 Leopard tanks. And people are stupid enough, after Trump talks for an hour and a half about the hundreds of billions of dollars every year pissed away, they got the nerve to say, what are you going to do about rising child care costs? Low IQ individuals. But Kamala, she's at debate camp. She'll have the perfect answer. A giveaway program. A giveaway. More stuff will give away. But don't worry, because in Australia, they released a manifesto on reducing red meat consumption to lower emissions. The Green New Scam, okay? You can't eat meat because you're destroying the world, according to these lunatics that are in power. This cabal of lunatics. And all this is another way to hoard resources for the elites and to control the population. So, let me see if anybody answered me as far as who is going to, when is the debate going to be? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I want to see if anybody answered me. I think it's Tuesday. And I don't think I think they're going to know that she is unable to perform. Especially since Trump got the coin toss and he gets the last word in. Tuesday. Thank you, Sissy. Tuesday the 10th. So, let's see. We got, I don't know how they're going to get out of it. Here you go. Here's the article I was looking for. 2 stats are everything you need to know about the August job report that I put up about Biden and Harris, Kamala Harris. Jobs for native-born Americans over the last year, minus 1.3 million. Jobs for foreign-born workers over the last year, plus 2 million. Full-time jobs, minus 438,000. Part-time jobs, plus 527,000. So Kamala, come up with a plan to raise the corporate taxes on businesses, come up with a plan to compel employers to pay for daycare, and come up with a plan to take unrealized capital gains, make people go out and take out loans or declare bankruptcy to send you more money. And let's let this death spiral continue. Which is exactly what will happen, a death spiral. So, I want to make sure I've gotten everything. sometimes I'll go out of the video and go, holy cow, I meant to talk about something and I didn't get a chance to put it up, or I didn't see it. So apparently we've done pretty good with going through the issues. Here, I like this. I had this in there for a while. I don't know if you all got a chance to see this. Greg Abbott put this up. Greg Abbott, red, white, and blue, legend. Governor Greg Abbott put that up. You guys want to get a shot of that to put on Meta. Yeah, hi, Jackie. Yeah, it's going to be on the 10th. Now, real quick, what this Dossier 2.0 is. Judge Chutkan played a little judicial scam. She's running a judicial scam. I like this picture. I'm going to put it up because it's easier to read the chats. Where she is allowing Jerk Smith, who should be arrested, by the way, and Trump called for his arrest more than once. She's allowing them to put together supposedly a motion, but they are going to puke out, regurgitate a bunch of garbage and put it all in a nice bundle here in the next couple of weeks, totally outside of the rules of evidence or procedure in trials. They're basically going to put out a manifesto full of unchallenged, untested, half-truths, accusations, and crap, and formally file it with the court. It is going to give MSNBC, DNC, or CNN, all these morons, nothing but more salacious, slanderous, and phony ammunition to pump out at Trump. His attorneys don't even get to challenge it. That's what Judge Chutkan did. And it is going to be as real as the first dossier, namely a bag of garbage that they're going to put out to the media as truthful. I don't know at what point somebody's going to say, this is enough of this crap, and activate JAG or, Judge Advocate General or somebody step in. I don't know. But Trump, he seemed at peace when he said, I feel I'm doing a service by showing this intricate web. It's complicated, and it's an intricate web of the same people that are turning our judicial system into and weaponizing our laws and turning our judicial system into a weapon, a political weapon. It's got to stop. So anyway, if you get a chance, most everybody in the chats know the players, know about Donna Brazil, know about the ABC executives, know about Lisa Monaco, know about Coangelo, know about George Conway, Reid Hoffman. Those are all the big players. The only thing, not the only thing, but one important thing is, are any of the judges playing along to facilitate declassification of things. Maybe Mercan is in a position where he's allowing things to go forward to do a humiliation ritual. Maybe he's allowing things to go forward to compel certain information to come out. I don't know. But we got at least 4 judges: Kaplan, Angron, Mercan, and Chutkin. At least 4 judges that are we don't know if they're going to be Roland, just put in there Mountain Man Speaks. Mountain Man Speaks. You'll find me on there. I can't drop a link. Mountain Man Speaks. And then you'll see a blue circle with that white M. It'll put up some of my old videos, but if you click on my icon there, Mountain Man Speaks, all my new videos will come up. And it takes me about an hour to an hour and a half to upload videos on Rumble. So I do it here and there. I don't do it with every video anymore. It's just, it's a lot to do by yourself. But I sure would like to be a fly on the wall, seeing her prepare for these debates. And you can bet right now at this moment in time, she is drunk. She's going to wake up with a hangover. They're going to be going over high school level slogans and BS. They have no direction. They have no economic plan. A Marxist cannot have an economic plan. Well, let's see. What's going on, Kim? Hope you're doing all right. It should come up, Roland. Oh my, I don't know what's going on. But if you just type in all one word, Mountain Man Speaks, I'll come up. All one word. All right, folks, let me see what else we've got in here. I want to play. Here, I like this picture too. Put that on Meta. Zuckerberg, he's got to be careful what he does about Mr. T when people post on Mr. T, because he could spend the rest of his life in jail. I'm not kidding you. That's what Trump told him. So just put that on your Facebook page. Ha 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 ha. Dare him to take it down. It's a red pill, baby. If you really feel brave, put this one up. Put this one up. Democrats want to hold the manufacturer of this shot liable, but not this shot. Huh? How about that? Let me see. All right, folks, I'm going to play this little video for you all on the way out, just because I like making fun of Rosie. All right. Rosio Doo-Doo, Rosio Poopy. And I appreciate everybody who's joined me tonight. And I will probably go on live either Sunday or Monday. If you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live and you can join. Watch the chats go by or even kick in on the chats. And I appreciate that everybody that's tuned in tonight and everybody that tuned in after the live stream. And I thank you for spending your precious time with me. I hope you all have a great evening. This is Mountain Man. Enjoy this little short video This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Then, you see crazy orange turd talking about how, oh, did you see? She said thank you a lot. Something he's never said in his life to anyone.
Well, Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. I mean, both inside and out. You take a look at her, she's a slob.
Thank you. He's not worth thinking about. And it's over, and he knows it's over, and what awaits him are all of these other trials and jail. That's what awaits him. But that's because of what he did. What he did himself. Wake up, Trumpy people. Wake up.
If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired.